Spaceballs 2 brings back Brooks, Moranis, and Pullman. Moranis, that's amazing because I thought Moranis was done with movies, you know. The Swartz is back. After nearly 4 decades, Spaceballs is officially getting a sequel. Amazon MGM Studios confirmed that Mel Brooks will reprise his role as Yogurt in the upcoming film Spaceballs 2, which is set to hit theaters in 2027. Wow, that's really soon. So Brooks isn't the only original cast member returning. Bill Pullman is back as the heroic Lone Star. And Rick Moranis will dust off the iconic helmet to once again play the villainous Dark Helmet, his first major movie role in years. Moranis famously stepped away from acting in the late 90s to focus on raising his children, making his return a major draw for longtime fans. Daphne Zuniga is also said to be returning as Princess Vespa. And you know, Daphne, she has aged very well. Still pretty. Yeah. So there you go. Obviously, Joan Rivers will not be voicing the robot, and sadly, John Candy will not be returning. Joining the original stars is Kiki, I don't know, Palmer, who will play a role by the name of Destiny. That streamer? Palmer is riding high off the success of One of Them Days and has a busy slate ahead, including Amazon's The Pickup and Lionsgate's Good Fortune. Well, it's not ringing a bell with me, but, you know. It's also reported Bill Pullman's son, Louis Pullman, who recently starred in Marvel's Thunderbolts. Oh, was that him as Sentry? Holy crap. That's who he looks like. Anyway, that's funny because Kurt Russell's son was, you know, the U.S. agent and all that. Anyway, who recently starred in Marvel's Thunderbirds is in talks and will play a character named Starburst, the son of Queen Vespa and Lone Star. Bill Pullman. Yeah, good casting. Yeah, you know, you think Mel Brooks, good Lord, he's ancient. What, it doesn't matter. Look, the makeup and everything, you know. The sequel is being helmed by director Josh Greenbaum and written by Benji Sammet, Dan Hernandez, and Josh Gad. Gad will also star in the film. Well, okay. And is producing alongside Brian Grazer, Jeb Brody, Mel Brooks, and Greenbaum. It's reported Gad, Keke Palmer, and Louis Pullman are the new leads. So you think they'll do a better handoff? That would be what's hilarious, is that Spaceballs 2 will do a better handoff than the Disney sequel trilogy for Star Wars did, you know? That's the deal. So Gad celebrated the announcement. Okay, well, I was that child who saw Spaceballs before I ever saw Star Wars, and then wondered why anyone would do a dramatic remake of the Mel Brooks classic. It is, therefore, the greatest gift of my life to now help take the reins and work alongside Mel and this incredible group to do a sequel to the movie that first inspired George Lucas. Yeah. Well, the plot's still under wraps, so we don't know. While story details are being kept secret, the film has been cheekily described as a non-prequel, non-reboot sequel part 2, but with reboot elements franchise expansion film. A teaser shared by Brooks also pokes fun at the modern state of Hollywood, taking digs into the MCU and DCU. Fans of the original still will remember it as this relentless parody of Star Wars, Star Trek, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Alien, and more. Released in 1987, Spaceballs wasn't a box office smash, grossing just over $38 million. But it quickly became a cult favorite thanks to its sharp satire and quotable script. So, long-awaited follow-up. The sequel has been a long time coming. Moranis once pitched Spaceballs 3, The Search for Spaceballs 2, back in 2013. Yes, See, you could take a dig at the jumbling of the chapters that Star Wars did. And in 2015, Brooks teased his desire to do a follow-up titled Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money, which was the original title they threw in at the end there, you know. Now, with Brooks nearing 99 years old, this movie is shaping up to be a nostalgic final hurrah and a potential relaunch of the Spaceballs universe. Yeah, I guess. But probably done right, you know, Spaceballs 2 will be the best one. What they do next after that, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a one and done thing, you know. It's just now it can make even more hay out of just the absolute self destruction that the very franchise they're parroting in here have done to themselves. Do they? Do they have the balls to really do Spaceballs?